What's up, everybody, and welcome back. If this is your first time here, let me say welcome. Today we are not meal prepping, but I wanted to talk about something really important: spices. Yes, spices. So we're gonna spice things up today a little bit. So, when I started cooking, when I was a wee bit, no, not a wee bit. So anyway, when I started cooking many moons ago, the first thing I learned about cooking was you gotta put some spices and seasonings in your food, otherwise it's just bland. Today I've listed out my top 10 staple must-haves. These are the foundation for all my cooking. I can take these spices, mix them up in different combinations and be cooking Mexican cuisine, or I can be cooking Chinese or Italian or soul food, whatever it is, but this is what I use. Now, I have a big old spice rack right behind me that has about, 60, 70 other spices, just because I like I like spices. I like to try new things. But these spices right here, the 10 I'm gonna recommend, if you're just starting out, these are the 10 to buy. Now, I have them in all different quantities, different sizes. It just depends on where I bought them at. So I get them at Costco's, you can get them at any grocery store, wherever. Get yourself some spices and just spice it up. I know it sounds corny, but I'm telling you, this will take your chicken and broccoli and brown rice and kick it up a notch. It's just, can't just do salt, pepper, Mrs. Dash. That's just, it doesn't work. I get bored really quick. This is how I've stayed on track for the last year, all right? So let's start out with the most used spice of all, salt. Okay, I got some Himalayan pink salt. Now, like I said in past videos, this whole jar will probably last me to the end of time. It has a lot more minerals than your average table salt. So Himalayan pink salt. Now, this is in everything. From my breakfast, my lunch, my dinner, every cuisine, I'm gonna use salt, okay? All right, the next spice is black pepper. There's a reason why salt and pepper on every table, because it really does help enhance your flavor profile. This is used in every single cuisine as well. I put this in my eggs. I put this when I'm cooking Asian food. I cook this when I'm cooking Spanish food, Italian food, American cuisine. Salt and pepper are your staple spices. These are must-haves, okay? All right, same thing goes for garlic, okay? Garlic is one of those essential spices. You have to have garlic. I love garlic. Now, a lot of times when I'm cooking, I use a lot of fresh garlic, but I also use granulated garlic as well. So again, Asian, Italian, Mexican, soul food, your food, my food, garlic is in there as well, okay? Here's the story. So when I was about 10 or 12 years old, I remember going to this barbecue, right? And my brother took me. He's, a little bit years older than me, about 10 or 15 years, my senior. So we go to this barbecue and I'm in the kitchen and I'm watching the people in the kitchen cook. Now, I come from a family of people that cook, that season their food. It's like this. It's seasonings everywhere. So I'm in there and watching. They're doing corn and some canned corn at that, which I'm not used to eating, but canned corn and canned string beans. And all they do is they, go to the, what do you call that? The can opener, so it goes, and the can opens, right? And they take the can and then they dump it in the pot and they put the top on and they turn the heat up. And I looked to my older brother like, something's wrong here. Where's the salt, the pepper, back then, the butter, some seasonings and stuff. He's like, just don't say a word. Don't say a word. Anyway, that was my oldest brother. Well, one of my oldest brothers. And that was my sister-in-law's house. So back then, that was how they cooked. They just opened a can of corn, opened a can of string beans, opened a can of whatever, and just dumped it in a pot, turned it on, and served it on the table. Man, I ate that food this is not good. But now it's been a few years since then, a lot of years, and I will say that my sister-in-law does know how to cook. She does spice things up a bit, so she has improved. But it was some hard years in the beginning. Tell me, eating that food and with a smile. Yeah, this is good, isn't it? No, it's not. It really wasn't. So please do me a favor for, you know, your family, for my family, for your friends. Put some spices in your food, salt and pepper, and Mrs. Dash does not cut it, okay? The only time I ever had Mrs. Dash is when I went to go visit my dad in the hospital. And, you know, they give you that packet of Mrs. Dash, and I'm like, it's just not good. Anyway, I'm sorry. Mrs. Dash is okay. I mean, I guess, if you have to use something, but all right. So paprika is one of those like spices that people just don't think about. You know, they take some paprika, they make some deviled eggs, they just pour it on top. That's that little red seasoning that makes it all nice and pretty, but it's way more than that. So anytime I make any type of my Mexican rice bowls or my fajita mixes or beef, lamb, pork, or anything like that, a lot of vegetables, I put paprika in, that smoky flavor. It's in a lot of Hungarian cooking. Paprika is something that you really want to try out. Next is my oregano. I like rolling my R's. Oregano. Okay, never mind. Oregano, okay? I put it in a lot of Italian cuisine. Anytime I make a lot of soups or stews or anything like that, I'm going to use oregano. It's one of those spices. So oregano is great. Cinnamon. Cinnamon, cinnamon, cinnamon. Cinnamon. Oh, how I love cinnamon. Cinnamon is not just for my applesauce. It's not just for my oatmeal. No, no, no. Cinnamon. Okay. All right, so those sweet potatoes I make, those sweet potato fries, that sweet potato enchilada that I made, those candy caramelized carrots and all those other goodies, that was cinnamon. Cinnamon is great. I'm acting really silly, but seriously, cinnamon, I put this in a lot of different things. Like I cook beef. You wouldn't think I'm making like a nice steak, and I put a little bit of cinnamon in it. Cinnamon. I want to say cinnamon like 10 times. Hello guys, this is cinnamon. I can't talk about chili powder without its little brother, cumin. Chili powder and cumin. I probably go through one of these jars, which is almost 2.5 ounces, which you think is not a lot, but when you talk about spices, it is. I go through a chili powder and a cumin probably once a month. I eat a lot of Mexican food, and this go in it hand in hand. Now in chili powder, I put it in so many different things. From Mexican cuisine to anytime I'm cooking Asian food, or if I want to just spice things up a little bit, I have chili powder. Now this is just a basic one. There are so many types of chili powder, from ancho to chipotle. See, when you start getting that spice rack, you start going crazy. You can pick this one and that one. And hello bird, why you in, Mark? This is the basic one to get you started. So we only have 2 more spices left. I have some onion powder here. Now I love onion powder, so I get that onion flavor without actually having onions if you don't have any, but this is great. I'll take some onion powder, I'll take some garlic, black pepper, salt, a little paprika, and a little oregano, and I just seasoned up my chicken. Last one is ginger. Now, is ginger a very common spice? No, but it's really good for you. It has a lot of different properties to it. But ginger in my Asian cuisine, I use it. I can put it in smoothies. It's very versatile in cooking. I put ginger and garlic. They actually very much complement each other. So a lot of times when I'm using ginger, I'm always using garlic. All right, so that's it for my basic 10 spices that you must have. Well, at least I think you must have when you start out cooking. Now, the reason why I like spices versus buying like those pre-packaged spices, like say a Weber or Flavor Gods or whatever, I can control how much of what spice I put in it. So I know exactly how much salt I'm putting in my food. If I only want a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, then I'm only gonna put a 1/4 teaspoon. And I'm gonna allow all my other seasonings to help flavor the food for me. I don't have to kill it with salt. I'm going to use all these things up. This doesn't have any salt in it. This is nothing more than just garlic. I'm not buying garlic salt, I'm just buying garlic. Black pepper is nothing more than just pepper ground up. So you can control your spice levels, you can control your salt intake by mixing your own spices. If you want to stay on track for meal prepping, then you gotta make it interesting. So I can take chicken, rice, and a vegetable and make it into 4 different cuisines. I could be eating Italian one day, I could be eating some Southwestern food one day, Mexican the next, Chinese, Japanese, Cuban, you know, whatever. The same 3 main courses, but I can switch it up, and that's what my seasoning. So I hope this helps. I actually have a free download, so you don't have to try to remember all this. I'll link it in the description. I'll put it right here that you can go ahead and click on. And that way you can print it out and you can take it to the store and make sure you buy these seasonings to get you started. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the link below. Tell me, what is your favorite spice? How do you like to cook up your food? Are you doing some kind of flavor combination? Are you buying prepackaged seasonings? And I'm not hating on them. They're good to start out. It's better than eating out, I guarantee you. But hey, we can start learning how to do these things together differently. If you like this video so far and you want to see more videos like this, I give you a little bit of tutorials along with the meal prep and along with the working out, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Let me know I'm on the right track. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do so. Hit that button, turn on that bell notification. That way when I upload, you're notified and you won't miss out on anything that I'm posting. I'm working on my cookbook. Is going to have some of the recipes I featured here on this channel before and a few that I just threw in that you've never seen before as well. I think you're going to like it. It's going to have some good tips. It'll have little different added bonuses as well. That should be coming out in about the next 30 days. I'm really excited. I've never done a cookbook before, but I've been cooking all my life. All right, make sure to check out next week's video where I talk about healthy snacks. I've been getting a lot of requests for healthy snacks and I'm finally put together. I have about 5 or 6 different healthy snacks that I think you'll enjoy. But other than that, stay focused, stay positive, and keep it moving. See you in the next one. Good day, everybody.